Before the betrayal drops, let's talk about the revenge. So, Tom Bauer is about to release a new book. It's called The Betrayal, and yes, it's about Harry and Meghan. And I already know when it drops, everybody's going to have an opinion about it. But before we even get there, I don't know if any of y'all remember, he already wrote a book about them. And it's not just any book, it's The Revenge. Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors. So instead of jumping into the betrayal, let's go back. Let's talk about the revenge and fully understand the story he was trying to tell. So the book opens by taking us back into Meghan's early life. Right from the start, Bauer frames her as someone who is very self-aware, very intentional. Not just growing up, but positioning herself. He doesn't present her as someone who fell into success. No. In his view, she was always building towards something, even before the world knew her name. In chapter 2, Bauer talks about building an identity. As Meghan's career developed, we started to see a pattern, at least from Bauer's perspective. He describes Meghan as adaptable, someone who can move between spaces, between roles, between circles, and shape herself to fit or even to stand out. It raises a quiet question. When you reinvent yourself, are you evolving or you're curating? Chapter 3 talks about entering new circles. Then we move to the phase where she is gaining more access to more influential spaces. And Bauer suggests that wasn't random. He frames it as intentional proximity, being in the right rooms at the right time. Not just socially, but strategically. Chapter 4 talks about how they met. Now this is where everything shifts. Her meeting with Prince Harry. Bauer presents it as more than just romantic. To him, this was a collision between two different worlds. One built on tradition and the other built on self-direction. And from that moment, nothing stayed the same. Let's move to chapter 5. Chapter 5 is what Bauer describes as the rapid ascent. Their relationship moves fast, like really fast. And Bauer makes you feel that pace. Everything accelerates. The connection, the commitment, the public attention. And it feels like there wasn't enough time to really understand what was happening before everything became permanent. Now chapter 6. The relationship with the royal family. Now we enter the royal family dynamic. This is where everything starts to feel complicated. Bauer describes Meghan's interaction with the family as strained at times, not necessarily explosive, but misaligned. Different expectations, different ways of doing things, and sometimes, really, that's all it takes. Now let's go to chapter 7. Chapter 7 talks about friendship and social circles. This chapter is the most talked about. Bauer points out how Meghan's social circle seemed to shift over time, and he raises questions especially around her wedding. Who was invited and who wasn't? In his view, it suggested a pattern of moving forward without always looking back. Chapter 8 talks about family dynamics. Then there's a relationship with her own family. And Bauer doesn't soften this. He presents it as fractured, complicated, and public. And when you place that next to the expectations of the royal family, you start to see where the tensions could grow. Chapter 9. Media and narrative control. This is where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just about people anymore, it's about control. Bauer suggests that Meghan and Harry wanted to shape their own story, not relying on traditional royal media systems. And honestly, in today's world, that's not unusual. But inside an institution like the monarchy, that's where everything changes. Chapter 10 is about personal ambition. He keeps coming back to the idea of ambition, and he doesn't deny it, he actually highlights it. The question he raises is, was that ambition compatible with the role she stepped into? Because ambition can build you, but in the wrong environment, it can create friction. Chapter 11, The Growing Rift. By this point in the book, the distance is clear, not just physically, but emotionally and institutionally. Bauer describes a growing divide, miscommunication, different visions, and unresolved tension. And it stops feeling like adjustment, it starts feeling like separation. Chapter 12 talks about the Megxit, and then we get the moment everyone knows. Megxit, the decision to step away. Bauer frames it as disruptive, not personal, but historical. This wasn't about leaving a role, it was about redefining it. Chapter 13 is the life after. After the Megxit, the focus shifts to independence, building a new life, new streams of income, public identity, but Bauer raises a quiet tension. Can you fully separate from something that shaped your global identity? Chapter 14. Throughout the book, there is this constant contrast. What we see versus what's really happening. It makes you think how much of any public story is real and how much of it is managed. Chapter 15. By the end, the story feels less like a beginning and more like a chain reaction. Every decision is leading to another, every move carrying weight, and Bauer leaves you with that feeling. This didn't just happen, it unfolded. And now, here we are, with a new book coming, The Betrayal. And if revenge was about the rise, the decisions, the shifts, then I can't help but to wonder, is the betrayal what the decisions caused? And that's exactly why I'm curious to read it next.